The wagon shook violently as it rolled down the rough stone-riddled road, nearly half of which has been washed out by the prior night's storm. The sun was setting, and the passengers, already being 2 days behind schedule due to the storm, were growing restless. They were riding out from a small village to meet up with the caravan heading to a larger settlement before the harsh summer drought sets in. As if as over the journey as those it carried, the wagon stopped moving. After a violent shift at an angle a carriage is not meant to move. Eyes in the late 40s, looking mercenary, rose from his corner of the carriage, peering out through the door as he cracked it open. One of the axles busted out of line, and the wagon has gotten stuck in a fairly deep rut, he said, bringing his head back aside, addressing the passengers he was paid to escort. We'll be setting camp here tonight. Might as well get comfortable. Dismount! The passengers of the mini caravan all dismounted and set camp for the night, setting in for a good night's worth of food and drink around the fire. If it was anything Eisen and his men were good at other than combat, it was enjoying a little rest and relaxation around the fire. Anytime they had to entertain a disgruntled group of passengers or clients away from many settlements, they filled the night with stories, dancing, sparring, as they all laugh and drink the night away. Just finishing up with his bowl of grub, Eisen noticed some fussy children at a nearby fire. What seems to be the problem, if I may? He inquired as he approached what he assumed was a mother and her 3 young boys. They grow restless with the travel and want to roam and explore. I tell them it's too late, but you know boys. Gather round, boys, and I will tell you a story to pass the time, for it is dark and the dangers of the night lurk in the shadows even here now. Eisen knelt down by the fire, so his face was lit by the glow. The boys leaning in close, already clinging to his every word. More time than either you or I could conceive ago, there were 8 planes of existence. These planes were the realms of light, dark, Gaia, and spirit, with the minor realms of life, death, water, and fire. The spirits inhabiting these realms clashed endlessly in efforts to expand their territory. This endless clashing of forces over the millennia led to the formation of a new physical plane at the center, crossing of the 8 planes known as the ninth. This, of course, led to more endless conflict over who gets to claim the newly formed realm as their own. With this new realm came new life and new spirits. Before their more intellectual ages, they were mere weapons and playthings in the war of the realms. In time, after thousands of years of adapting and learning, they became aware of the spirits in other realms, along with the current state of it all. Fearing how the future may turn out, the leaders of the largest societies of villages of the ninth realm began to cease allegiances with the other realms along with their conflicts and had a summit of sorts. They decided to band together for the sake of their own realm and confront the spirit leaders. This was met with hostility at first, of course, but over the course of a decade, man was finally able to make change. An agreement was made between man and spirit. Man proposed that spirits of the 8 realms will all get presence in the realm of man to rule. However, this will not be with territories or any form of reigning presence and influence. The realms are now to exist in peace and balance and perfect harmony, for without the 8, the ninth would not exist. They are to let the essence of their planes already manifested in man and earth to play out naturally through man's life in this plane. The clans who pledged allegiances to different planes before struggled at first after decades of war. Over the course of time, these city-sized clans shrunk in size, and these disputes were thrown aside to be forgotten. As the clans evolved from the radical fanaticism to spiritual recognition, then eventually being forgotten almost completely. Now small secluded sects of sages are the only remnants somewhere in the world still watching over the balance of the ninth plane. There's a deity-level spirit who rules over each of the planes. An emissary along with a world stone representing each plane is assigned to a sage in this realm. The sage and his spirit partner are to watch over the stone which bleeds the essence and influence of its respective plane into the world, serving almost as anchors to each plane. The 4th generation of sages foresaw potential conflict and straying of future sages and spirits alike. They decided to form a 9th line of sages in secret to be a true neutral representative if a future sage ever decided to stray or threaten the balance. This line was made up of the 8 sages' apprentices to be next in line accompanied by their spirit. Noticing the boys had all 3 been long asleep in a pile for some time now, Eisen stood up, acknowledging the mom's silent thank you with a grin and a nod. He dusted himself off and wandered off to tend to the rest of the camp.